It's Wednesday night and you know what that means. Excalibur was on commentary with Tony Schiavone and Taz. Apparently, CM Punk as well as the Elite Trio, Nick Jackson, Matt Jackson, Kenny Omega, were removed from the Dynamite introduction video. I didn't pay attention or notice it, but I saw people mention it online. There was an opening video package showing Maxwell Jacob Friedman returning All Out as the Joker and getting a poker chip. At the end of the show, MJF said that the belt referring to the U World title was coming to him. U President Tony Khan said that after All Out, he has vacated the U World title and the trio's tag team titles. It's Death Triangle vs. Best Friends Ornage Cassidy for the trio's tag team titles, and that's coming up on this week's show. Tony said that there will be a Grand Slam Tournament of Champions to crown a new U World Champion at U Dynamite Grand Slam in 2 weeks. Tony said that they, meaning U as a company, will be at their best on the way to Grand Slam. Maxwell Jacob Friedman made his entrance wearing a Josh Allen jersey to suck up to the Buffalo Bills fans and get some cheers. MJF hugged Taz and gave the other announcers the double middle finger. MJF got cheered in the ring. MJF said that the devil is back while asking who was excited to see him. The fans cheered. MJF called Josh Allen the greatest quarterback of all time. That's a bit of a stretch since he's still very early in his career, but he is a great QB in the current NFL. MJF said he didn't mean the things he said when he was last there and claimed he didn't mean anything like calling the fans marks among other things. MJF insulted a woman and then said that he'll meet her after the show. MJF spoke about the Tournament of Champions to crown a new U World Champion. MJF said that he was a guy that deserved that championship, so he's going to work smart and not work hard. MJF said that he's got a chip that guarantees him a title shot anytime he wants. MJF said that Tony is paying him a boatload of freaking money as well. MJF said you may think they are in dark times, but he's a man that can lead them. MJF told a story about Moses, then said he's better than Moses and he's going to win that world title because he's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, while reminding us he is better than you and you know it. The former U World Champion Jon Moxley made his entrance from the back part of the arena as his song Wild Thing played with the fans cheering him. Moxley got in the ring telling MJF that he is absolutely full of crap. MJF ripped the fans for being grotesque, poor lard asses, and said that the Bills were the worst football. MJF rubbed the Josh Allen jersey on his butt, threw it away and said that Josh Allen sucks, that Drew boos. MJF mocked Moxley for going to sleep on Sunday. MJF said that maybe he doesn't care about you or these people, but maybe he can use the U World title as a bidding war of 2024. MJF is a free agent on January 1, 2024 apparently. MJF said that maybe he'll take that title to a real wrestling company with real fans and real wrestler like his friend and hero Cody Rhodes. MJF said that maybe he'll work with the only Khan, jolly old Nick Khan, the WWE co-CEO. MJF quoted his favorite wrestler Triple H saying that was best for business. Moxley told MJF he needs to leave the ring right now. MJF took off his dress shirt looking like he's in great shape. MJF left. Moxley told MJF that his theme music sucks. Moxley addressed the crowd saying he is pissed off, he is embarrassed, and he is angry that he is standing there without the U World Championship. Moxley said that what means something to him is what the U World Championship represents, and it means a lot to a lot of people. Moxley said that it represents passion for this sport, this business, the passion for the guys in the back and the crowd. Moxley said that it represents the dream, the vision when they started this company years ago and showed what this business can be. Moxley kept on going, talking about how the U World Championship represents freedom and being better than the day before. Moxley said that World Championship represents everything he loves about this business. Moxley said that on Sunday, he lost and he got pinned, so that's on him. Moxley said that he missed the game-winning shot. Moxley talked about how he was supposed to be on vacation right now until 2 days ago. Moxley called Chris Jericho the greatest of all time, then said Bryan Danielson is the best wrestler and talked about Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, Hangman Adam Page all being talented guys younger than him. Moxley said that the ace always wants the ball and he wants the ball. so he's going to take a shot. Moxley said that this isn't just time to win. This isn't just winning time, this is time to be a legend. The trio's tag team titles were won by the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega at All Out, but they were suspended, we think, by you. So the titles have been vacated. The Young Bucks and Omega were never mentioned by Tony Khan in his promo or the announcers. There was some comedy stuff to start leading to Penta kicking Ornage, who came back with a head scissors takedown. All 6 guys went into the ring to do moves within a minute with Death Triangle clearing the ring. The Death Triangle trio charged, but Best Friends gave them back body drops over the top to the floor. Ornage jumped off the hands of his friends, so he went over the top rope onto the 3 Death Triangle guys. They went to a picture-in-picture break. Analysis: I don't know how they get away with not going to a commercial for 26 minutes, but that's what happened. Good for them. Ornage got the tag against the Lucha brothers with a double Hurricane Rana, but Pac was legal, so Pac knocked Ornage down with a forearm to the face. Danhausen and Alex had a showdown on the floor leading to Danhausen cursing Alex. Then Alex did the Penta taunt, so Danhausen punched him in the gut. Pac kicked Danhausen while Ornage hit a dive on Pac on the floor. Ornage with a crossbody block and DDT. Penta was legal. Cassidy hit a stunned dog millionaire. Taylor got the tag and suplexed Phoenix onto Penta in the corner. Penta and Phoenix were both in the ring illegally with Penta slamming Phoenix onto Taylor for a 2 count. Taylor with a boot to the face of Penta. Phoenix got a tag and Trent hit a release suplex on Phoenix after a boot from Taylor. Trent with a tornado DDT on Phoenix, but Phoenix was back up with a cutter. All 6 guys were in the ring doing spots again with Ornage hitting a German suplex. Penta with a pump handle sit-out slam on Ornage. Trent with a knee on Penta and Pac super kicked Trent into a code red from Phoenix for a 2 count. That was a chaotic couple of minutes with the referee losing total control as usual. The fans chanted "This is awesome" for the spot fist. Ornage with an orange punch. Then Trent and Taylor hit moves with one of them called a crunchy and that got a 2 count for Trent. Death Triangle with triple super kicks and triple Canadian destroyers. Phoenix hit the twisting dive over the top onto Ornage and Trent. Penta hit a somersault dive onto Ornage and Trent. Pac was legal in the ring against Taylor. Pac went up top and hit a shooting star press on Chuck for the pinfall win after about 13 minutes. The trio of Pac, Penta Phoenix celebrated a bit with the titles. No replays were shown and they only had the titles for like 10 seconds when the camera cut away. Pac is the All-Atlantic champion, so he has 2 titles now. Dark Order was about to be interviewed by Tony Schiavone, who mentioned somebody had an injury, so they weren't in the title match. Before it could go anywhere, Jose the assistant said that they wanted to recruit 10. Dark Order's John Silver and Evil Uno shut him down. Then Andre Del Idolo showed up with a crutch that he gave to 10, who had a previously hurt knee. Toni Storm vs. Penelope Ford. This was not for Storm's title. It was even early on as they exchanged holds. Storm with a shoulder tackle, Ford with a kick to the gut, Ford with shoulder tackles and a dropkick that sent Ford into the corner. Storm charged, Ford avoided it and Ford went to the floor, so Storm kicked her. Ford sent Storm into the steel steps leading to a picture-in-picture break. Ford was in control sending Storm into the turnbuckle. Ford went for a cartwheel attack in the corner. Storm avoided it and Ford hit the turnbuckle. Storm with a running shoulder tackle and a running hip attack against the corner. Storm hit a jumping DDT that didn't look impressive at all, yet that was enough for the win. The crowd didn't care, it was only 6 minutes. Winner by pinfall, Toni Storm. The Acclaimed made their entrance. Max Caster and Anthony Bowens got a big pop, but Caster's rap attempt was interrupted by Swerve Strickland, who was booed heavily. It was announced that in 2 weeks it's Swerve in Our Glory defending the U Tag Team titles against the Acclaimed in 2 weeks on the Grand Slam Dynamite episode. Caster didn't get to do a rap while Billy Gunn Bowens talked about how they were going to win. That was it. Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Tame Mello and Jay were interviewed backstage. Jericho talked about how he's the best ever, he's found the fountain of youth and he's drinking it in. Man, Jericho said that he's the best wrestler ever, the best sports entertainer ever, and that's another reason why he's going to beat Bryan Danielson again next week on Dynamite. Jericho said that this is his company, this is his locker room, and nobody is taking it away from him. Jericho talked about Sammy Guevara taking Darby Allin and the tournament champions. Sammy just said that Darby's turtle of an ass is getting beat, that was it. Jericho talked about Daniel Garcia's big match in his hometown of Buffalo, and Jericho said that he knows Danny is going to win. Jericho told Garcia, who was not there, that he'll beat Yuta without the Jericho Appreciation Society. Sammy mentioned they're all sexy to end it. TNT Championship, Wardlow vs. Tony. Knees flexed in front of Wardlow. Then Wardlow gave him a headbutt and a wind-up lariat. Wardlow with a stiff powerbomb. Wardlow with a second and third powerbomb to end it after less than 2 minutes. Winner by pinfall, Wardlow. Tournament of Champions quarterfinals, Bryan Danielson vs. Hangman Adam Page. The winner of this match faces Chris Jericho in the semi-finals of the Tournament of Champions next week. These two had 2 amazing matches in the past. It was a slow feeling out process at the start of the match with some arm bars and wrist lock type moves. Bryan bailed to the floor to regroup before going back in to grab a headlock. Page with a hard chop to the chest. Bryan chopped him back. Page with another chop, and Bryan chipped up Page while stomping on the back of the knees. They exchanged strikes again with some more chops, leading to Bryan delivering several kicks to knock Page down. Bryan was on the middle turnbuckle. Page sent him to the apron, and Page jumped off the rope with a springboard clothesline to knock Bryan off the apron to the floor. Page tried to dive onto the floor. Bryan avoided it, and Bryan sent Page into the ring post. Bryan was in control, working on the right arm of Page, followed by another exchange of chops leading to Bryan getting some kicks to the body. Regal said that Bryan was taking away that lariat arm of Page. Bryan ran the ropes. Page caught him, and Page hit a fillaway slam. Page hit a slingshot dive over the top onto Bryan on the floor. Back in the ring, Page hit a Death Valley driver on Bryan for a 2 count. Bryan countered a move, then a trip into the turnbuckle, and Bryan hit a running corner dropkick. Bryan hit another corner dropkick, then a Hurricane Rana and a roundhouse kick to the head. The Welt and Chris Jericho was shown watching since he faces the winner. Bryan worked over Page's right arm with kicks along with another roundhouse kick to the head. Bryan went up top. Page met him with punches, and Page hit an impressive fillaway slam off the top for a 2 count. Great move there. Page wanted a buckshot lariat from the apron, but Bryan rolled to the floor, leading to a picture-in-picture break. Page and Bryan were exchanging strikes again. Bryan went for a suplex, but Page landed on his feet, and Page hit Elijah Bomb for 2. The announcers claimed that Bryan kicked out because Page didn't have his legs on both of Bryan's arms. The actual reason is because it is not Page's finisher. But it's good for the announcers to say what they said. Bryan was able to hang Page upside down against the turnbuckle, leading to Bryan hitting a low dropkick, followed by Bryan doing hammer elbows to the head, neck area. Bryan hit a belly to back superplex, but Hangman did a backflip onto his feet. Bryan blocked a righty clothesline, so Hangman hit a lefty clothesline for 2. Bryan was able to recover quickly with the label lock submission on the right arm that Bryan worked on for most of the match. Page gave Bryan a catapult into the ropes. Bryan did the skin the cat back, and leading to a double underhook suplex by Bryan. That led to the armbar by Bryan, and then he turned it into the label lock on the right arm again. Page broke free. He delivered some knee strikes to the shoulder and broke free from the submission. Page with a forearm with the right arm, then a clothesline to the right arm. Bryan reacted like it caused no damage, and Bryan charged at Page, who caught Bryan with the Deadeye Slam for 2. The Deadeye looks cool, but the move is entirely bumping to his knees while holding Bryan on his back. Anyway, Page went for a top rope moonsault. Bryan moved, and Bryan hit a Buzaiko knee that sent Page into the ropes, so Page rolled to the floor. No pin attempt because Page was on the floor. Bryan went for a suicide dive. Page caught him and sent Bryan's back into the ring apron. Page with a moonsault off the turnbuckle onto Bryan on the floor. Back in the ring, Page wanted the buckshot lariat. Bryan got the O'Connor roll-up into a bridge back into a jackknife pin for a 2 count. It went about 22 minutes. Winner by pinfall, Bryan Danielson. Stokely Hathaway was on the stage with his stable including W. Morrissey, Austin Colton Gunn, Ethan Page, and Lee Moriarty. Hathaway claimed he was a ladder match king. Some random guy in a headset was a stagehand telling Hathaway to stop. So Hathaway hit him with a microphone and the wrestlers beat the poor guy up. Morrissey gave the poor production assistant a kick to the face. ROH Pure Championship, Wheeler Yuta vs. Daniel Garcia. The commentary team was still joined by William Regal, because Yuta is in the Blackpool Combat Club, and Rose Caprice Coleman. They had Jerry Lynn, B.J. Whitmer, Matt Sydal as judges if needed. The fans chanted for Buffalo's own Garcia at the start of the match. The wrestlers spent the first minute locking up as the fans chanted "Let's go Buffalo" for them, and then they went tumbling out of the ring to the floor. The announcers talked about how evenly matched they are as they went back into the ring. The show went to a picture-in-picture break. The match returned with Yuta jumping off the top with a forearm to the face. The announcers noted that Garcia used one of his 3 rope breaks during the break, and if you use all 3 then you can be submitted while grabbing the ropes. Yuta exchanged chops with Garcia, followed by Yuta hitting a snap suplex. Regal talked about how talented these 2 young guys while also telling Taz that his son, Hook, is included, with Regal saying he appreciates it. Garcia hit a couple of belly-to-back suplexes along with 2 clotheslines. Garcia with a boot to the face, but Yuta was back in with 3 straight German suplexes, so Garcia tried to break the grip. Garcia hit 3 straight German suplexes of his own. Yuta got back in control with 2 more German suplex. Then Garcia with 2 more German suplex. They went to the turnbuckle and Garcia gave Yuta German suplex off the middle rope with Yuta landing hard on his head. They went to a picture-in-picture break again. The match continued with both guys on the mat after Garcia gave Yuta a superplex. Excalibur overrated the match, calling it a classic already. But that's you announcers always acting as if everything is the best thing ever. Garcia and Yuta got into a slapfest that looked so lame. But the fans got into it as Garcia slapped Yuta hard in the face. It's also because pure matches don't have punches, so they have to do open-handed slapping instead. Garcia with a double leg takedown into the Dragon Tamer, Sharpshooter or Scorpion Deathlock, in the middle of the ring, but Yuta crawled to the ropes to use his first rope break. Chris Jericho was shown watching on a TV backstage. The fans booed because they wanted Garcia to win. Yuta punched Garcia, so the refereeing got a warning about it because you aren't allowed to punch in a pure match. Garcia applied the Dragon Tamer again. Then Yuta got out of it and hooked the arms into a pin attempt for 2. Yuta tried a submission. Garcia kicked out of it and Garcia applied the Dragon Tamer while bridging back. Yuta pulled on Garcia's neck, but Garcia applied pressure and Yuta tapped out to give Garcia the win. The fans popped big for it. It went 16 minutes. Winner by submission and new Pure champion, Daniel Garcia. Chris Jericho walked out onto the stage as Bryan shook hands with Garcia. Jericho was not happy about what he was seeing as Bryan raised Garcia's hand and Jericho was complaining about it. That was the end of the show.